Hey everybody, Joe Vanourney, Cherry the Geek TV. We are here at the Comic-Con Museum. It's Comic-Con 2023. We're here with one of the co-curators of the Excelsior, the Life and Legacy of Stan Lee exhibit. It's Michael Uslan. You're here next to Stan Lee's, the comics that he did for DC.
Yeah.
You were the instigator of that. You're the culprit. Talk about that origin, how you got Stan Lee to reimagine the characters of the DC universe.
Well, the year was 2001, and I was having lunch with Stan, and I said, so Stan, I remember back at the premiere of our first Batman movie in 1989. Every star in Hollywood was there, but I got to hang out with Stan Lee and your good friend Bob Kane, who was the co-creator of Batman. And the two of you were kibitzing with each other, giving it to each other, and you turned to Bob Kane while I was standing there, and you go, you know, Bob, I could have really made a success of this Batman thing if I had been the writer of it. So Bob Kane goes, well, I could have made a bigger success out of Spiderman if I drew it. And I'm standing there going, oh my God, I wonder what Stan Lee's Batman would have been like. That's where the idea came from. So now it's 2001. I said to Stan, what would you think if I brought you over to DC Comics, your chief competitor, and you recreated Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, all the DC heroes, the way you would have created them back at Marvel? And he laughed. He goes, Michael, are you crazy? He goes, DC would never go for that. That would be like Henry Ford going over to GM to design a Chevrolet. And the other thing he used was, or the president of Coca-Cola taking the Pepsi challenge and choosing Pepsi. I said, would you just let me go to DC? He goes, they'll never buy it. Go ahead, but they're never going to go for it. So I went to my friend Paul Levitz, who was the president of DC Comics at the time. And Paul said, I cannot think of anything that could be more fun. Bingo. We did it. So for 13 months, Stan and I got to work together on this, and it was magic. We had so much fun. And I'll show you a little bit about what he did.
We have some of the pieces from the collection here. How many different characters did he reimagine? I know he did all the big ones.
Yeah,
Superman.
We did 13 issues, but within those issues, a lot of the minor characters of the DC universe showed up. The Doom Patrol, his version of the Doom Patrol, Mark Merlin, Tommy Tomorrow. Somehow they were little like Easter eggs that worked their way in, which was a lot of fun too. Stan never wanted to be retro. He always wanted to be contemporary. So 22 years ago, when he did this, he created a black Batman, a Hispanic Wonder Woman and Aquaman, a Latino Robin, a Shazam rooted in Indian culture, a young female Flash. He was already looking at diversity and inclusion in what he wanted to do. So we then teamed him up with some of the most legendary artists in the history of comics and some really hot new talent. So Stan Lee creating Superman with John Buscema, the guy who was renowned for Silver Surfer and Conan and so many other great properties from Marvel, took over Fantastic Four ultimately. He created Catwoman. This is one of my favorites. When it came time to do Aquaman, I said, well, Stan, you know how you have the Human Torch and he's a guy made out of fire and he controls flame? Why not do the flip for Aquaman? So this is Adam Hughes' cover, and you can see it's Aquaman that's a complete water being with water powers. I think that's better than the original. Here's with Jim Lee. He did Wonder Woman that was rooted in Mayan culture. And with the legendary Joe Kubert, he did Stan Lee's Batman. And it was amazing from one to the other. We have original art from there as well of the Justice League. And this is Robin. And then last December 28th, on what would have been Stan's 100th birthday, DC Comics brought them all back. Tales from Earth-6, a celebration of Stan Lee. And they said, which one would you like to write? I said, no question, I have to write Stan Lee's Batman. So I sat down to write Stan's Batman. And that's this right there, which is a beautiful, beautiful cover. If you can see it down here by Steve Beach. I said, I have to write this as if Stan was looking over my shoulder. So he would have wanted to create a great supervillain for his Batman. What do? What would Stan do? And then it hit me. I had a serial killer, deranged, on the loose in Gotham City. He was strangling women, and the newspapers call him the Choker. That would be the villain for Stan Lee's Batman. And then he always wanted to do creative flips. He would not want me writing anything that just emulated Batman, the traditional Batman. So in the very last panels, when Commissioner Gordon and Batman finally come to terms with each other because they had been chasing him up till this point, Gordon says to him, I think we should remain in communication. We should have a signal so I can call you anytime that I would like. And Batman turns to him and says, no way. Don't call me. I'll call you.
That's amazing. Well, you can see these DC Stan Lee comics. They've got Marvel Stan Lee comics, Steve Ditko comics, Jack Kirby comics. It's all part of the exhibition here at the Comic-Con Museum. This exhibit will be here for how long?
8 months.
8 months. So
everybody time to get on an airplane, get in a car, and come and visit this thing.
So you don't have to be at Comic-Con. It goes up 8 months. Come on down to San Diego Balboa Park Comic-Con Museum. Stay tuned for Cherry the Geek TV. More coverage here at Comic-Con 2023.
Excelsior!
Excelsior!